Hello, 大家好, I'm Grace. If you're coming to Taiwan or you have some Taiwanese friends, you will enjoy this video. We're going to talk about some everyday expressions that you might hear in Taiwan but might not be familiar with because of how they're said or how they're used. I've mentioned some of them in my previous videos, but in this video, you will also learn something new. And before we get into today's topic, I want to talk about a new approach I'm taking in this video. I don't know if you have noticed, but for my past videos, I always have scripts. I write a script before I film a video. There are mainly two reasons. First, English is not my first language. I'm afraid that I couldn't express my thoughts clear enough. And also, I'm afraid that I will make a lot of English mistakes. Second, I want to teach in a more organized way. I thought that if I can think about exactly what I'm going to say, it will be more organized. It has its benefits, of course, but at the same time, I do also want to try this kind of style where I can talk about certain topics and say whatever is on my mind at the moment. So in the future, I might have some videos where I don't have scripts. I don't know if you're going to like this style. After watching this video, you can share your thoughts with me. The reason why I want to talk about this topic today is because there is a video went viral recently. It shows how confusing this phrase can be when it's used in Taiwan. Let's take a look and see what happened.
帮我系一下安全带。没有，我以为我要我帮你系，没有啦，我干嘛你帮我系啊？我在手上在忙，我说那我帮你系一下。
So do you know what happens? The taxi driver said,
帮我系一下安全带。
帮我系一下安全带。帮我系一下安全带。So she used 帮我. So the passenger thought she had to help her fasten her seatbelt. So this is the confusing part of 帮我 because normally when we use 帮我, that means the speaker needs help with doing something, right? But in Taiwan, especially in service industry, people use 帮我 all the time when they ask you to do something because they don't want to sound rude. They want to make a very polite request. So the 帮我 here is kind of like, do me a favor, please do something. I heard that this passenger is from Malaysia, but I'm not sure if the information is correct, but she's not Taiwanese, so she probably isn't familiar with this kind of expression where we are just being polite when using 帮我. Let me give you some more examples. If you come to Taiwan and you need to sign on some documents, people might say to you, 请帮我在这里签名. 请帮我在这里签名. They're not asking you to help them sign their name, but you sign your own name. They only add this 帮我 to sound polite, like do me a favor. Now let's look at another video where a Chinese learner talks about how Taiwanese people speak really puzzle him.
台湾人就是字都
连
连在一起
在一起啊，对吧？你一开始怎么接受那个？不好意思，
不好意思，其实还好，
不好意思，
不好意思。我刚来台湾的时候，我发现大家都在讲什么？等一下，你等一下有课吗？什么是等一下啊？你知道我看过很多，就是我每天都在翻什么词典，我从来没有看过这个字，什么是等一下？对啊，还有什么杭式
好对，
就是我在美国花了很多时间，就是听这些 podcast， 我以为我到时候不会有任何问题，结果。就是每次都会败在最基本的。
This is so interesting because these are two expressions that we frequently add in our speech. The first one is 等一下 You probably have learned this phrase. It can mean wait a second, hold on, give me a sec. When you want someone to wait for a little while, you use 等一下. But 等一下 also has another meaning. It's used very often to mean in a bit, later, soon. You can say 我等一下会去. 我等一下会去. I will go later or I will go in a bit. because this phrase is used so frequently, we really like shorten it a lot. So for this sentence in daily Taiwanese conversation, we will say 我等下会去我等下会去 So it's the sound that the Chinese learner was talking about. 等下我等下会去 If you want to say 我等一下跟你说 I will tell you in a bit. 我等一下跟你说 In daily conversations in Taiwan, we would say 我等下跟你说我等下跟你说我等下跟你说 So get used to this sound. 等下等下我等下跟你去我等下跟你去我等下跟你去 I will go with you in a bit. 他等下会来他等下会来他等一下会来他等下会来他等下会来 Another word he mentioned is 好像好像 Han. This is how we say it in daily conversations. It's also a word that we commonly use because I think in Taiwan we have this tendency where we don't want to sound very certain. We don't want to sound too direct. I talk about in this video, when we turn someone down, we don't like to say no directly. We like to say things like 还好先不用没关系 Words like these to show that we don't want that. We wouldn't just say 哦不 or 不要 We wouldn't normally say that. So I think this 好像 kind of reflect this tendency where we don't want to sound too absolute, too assertive. Because 好像 this word can be used as an adverb added in the sentence to mean it seems like, seem, looks like. For example, if I feel like someone is angry, I can say 他好像生气了他好像生气了 It seems like he's angry. And in daily life, when we say it fast, it becomes Han. 他好像不知道 It seems like he doesn't know. 他好像不知道 In daily conversations, it becomes 他好像不知道他好像不知道他好像不知道 Let's try adding 等一下 into the sentence as well. You can say 他好像等一下会来 It seems like he will come in a bit. 他好像等一下会来 becomes 他好像等一下会来他好像等一下会来他好像等一下会来 It's a bit hard to understand, right? I feel like it's the same in almost all the languages. Of course, like some people tend to speak more clearly, but I think in daily conversations, people tend to really shorten those high frequency words. For example, in English, the word because. In daily conversation, many people just shorten it into cuz. I'm not going cuz I'm sick. It's the same when we say 等一下, the whole phrase shortened into a sound like 等下 because cuz. The sound becomes so short. Let me give you some more examples. In Chinese, words like 今天, 明天, 这样, 那样. We also say them really fast in daily conversations like 今天, 今儿 in northern China. 今儿 or in Taiwan we say 今天 明天 becomes 明 in northern China 明儿你明儿干嘛 and like 这样 in Taiwan becomes 这样那样那样 Some other things I want to mention is that when you come to Taiwan and you go to a store or you go to a restaurant, when you're at checkout, the cashier might ask you 统编载具需要吗 Or they might simply say 统编载具要吗 When you hear 统编载具 you might be confused like what these words mean. 统编 is business tax ID number. So they're basically asked if you want a business tax ID number on your receipt. So maybe you can use this receipt for tax purposes. And 载具 is receipt carrier. Because in Taiwan, we will usually collect receipts. If you want to know the reason, watch this video. I talk about the details in this video. Yeah, so if they ask you 有载具吗 or 要存载具吗 that simply means if you have like a receipt carrier that they will put the receipt in your receipt carrier. It will usually be like our phone. We will have an app that we put our receipt in that app. So we will give them a QR code to scan. Yeah, so if you're asked 统编载具要吗 you can say 不用谢谢不用谢谢 Okay, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video and I hope this topic is interesting for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and thank you for watching to the end. 如果你喜欢今天的影片，也别忘记按赞、订阅和分享哦。Also, if you'd like to support my content and get exclusive Chinese learning material, check out my Patreon. And also, if you'd like to learn some daily Mandarin expressions, check out my Instagram, Grace Mandarin. 那我们下次见喽，拜拜。